continue, we will pay for the electricity that they will produce. I encourage each and every one of you to do so. Indeed, our major customers, the municipalities, need to come to the party as well. Rulani Matebula is the Managing Director of Generation, together with Andre Durator, and these 4 companies will be signing the agreement. The first amongst the 4 bidders, 4 successful bidders, is HDF Energy South Africa Pty Limited. It's a large listed company. Please can I ask Mr. Nicholas Lacombe to join my colleagues to sign the agreement. And once you have committed yourself, sir, together with our new other partners, I will then request all of you to come back here for a group photograph. Colleagues on the virtual line, please start typing your questions for the whole team that is here to respond to. Once our new partners have bound themselves, they can then answer your questions about what it is they will do to help South Africa increase available electricity supply.
Right, those are live visuals coming to you from Sunning Hill. What you're seeing there is Eskom signing on new IPPs. Those are Independent Power Producers. That's CEO Andre Durator also signing along with the company that has been brought on board. Of course, you might remember that about 2 weeks ago, there were 5 other companies that were also signed. And during that ceremony, the Minister of Mineral Resources, Gwede Mantashe, was also there. What we've been told by Eskom really through its COO, particularly yesterday during the event of Agri-SA, that of course being Jan Oberholzer, he said that load shedding would be with us for quite a long time to come. He says we must brace ourselves for at least about a year or a year and 6 months more with load shedding. South Africa has experienced more load shedding than it did during previous terms in terms of the executive of Eskom. We also know that Pravin Gordhan, the Minister of Public Enterprises, also changed the Eskom board last week Friday or the Friday before. This, of course, being reasons around the fact that Gordhan also told the media that it's because of the fact that the previous board's term had already come to an end. But of course, a lot of us are wondering if it has anything to do with what we've been going through at the moment. It's probably about a month or a little more than a month since we've been load shed. It started with stage 5 and 6 load shedding, moved to stage 4. And now we're experiencing stage 2 and 1 load shedding. So those are the independent power producers that are expected to assist us. But of course, we've spoken on this particular channel with a lot of experts when it comes to power producing. And they say that this is not the only solution. Independent power producers will not take our problems away. They're just going to bring in some solution and some relief, but definitely not the conclusion in terms of the problems that we face with the energy crisis in our country. So our understanding is that today they're signing 5 more, which will bring the number to 10 independent power producers. And we're not going to see the benefits of having these signatures on the dotted line just yet as South Africa, because they still would need to build up those that infrastructure that will assist the independent power producers to be able to afford South Africans another option besides Eskom every time Eskom cannot give us power. But it looks like we're going to have quite a bleak festive season, looking at the fact that we're still under stage 2 and 1 load shedding. During the course of the week, between 4 and midnight, we've been subjected to stage 2 power cuts, and over the weekend from Friday, that being today, 4 p.m., tomorrow and Sunday, we'll be subjected to stage 1 load shedding. And of course, you might want to follow Eskom on Twitter to see what they say on Sunday about where the power is and what we do or do not have, if other generating units at different power stations have tripped, etc., to find out what it's going to look like in terms of the energy crisis from next week, Monday.
Thank you, sir. Lastly, please can I call on Ms. Thoron of Mainstream Renewable Power Developments SA Limited?
All right, Eskom continuing to bring on new independent power producers. This, of course, after the government signed an agreement for 3 projects that will give us about 420 megawatts of power. About 3 weeks ago, they signed the first 5 IPPs, and now this is the next 5 IPPs. And our understanding is that the Renewable Energy Independent Power Producer Procurement Program will also bring us about 2,500 megawatts and 25 projects that were meant to already have gone on the grid this year. This is only the beginning of the solution that Eskom is trying to implement with our energy crisis. Our understanding as well is that the Eskom CEO, Andre de Ruyter, as you can see him there with some of the IPP, those who just signed on the dotted line, it's about 4 companies I see. They're just taking a photo, so that brings the number to 9 at the moment. Our understanding is that Andre de Ruyter, the CEO, will then also update us immediately after the ceremony, will then also update us on the power grid and how it's looking for this weekend, what they forecast for the coming weekend and hopefully next week as well. So there you have it, a picture being taken by the different IPPs who've signed on the dotted line to give us solutions to the power crisis in South Africa.
One step forward. Can you not switch the projector off instead? Because there's a lot of people.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah.
So fine?
Let me just cross over.
Forward, but forward. Put the projector off, we can all stand in the middle.
Yeah, I think so.
Can somebody make that suggestion?
She's saying.
We don't know where to look at.
Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you. After you, sir.
Now that you have other people committing to ending load shedding, you've seen their faces. It's not just me and Andre Nrulani. All these honorable South Africans and corporate citizens have just committed themselves to help increase available supply and will do so constantly for the next 30 years. You don't know too much about all of the bidders, so now that they have indeed committed themselves, I'm going to request themselves to come and introduce them here one by one, in the order in which they signed the agreement. Nicholas, please give us a few words and introduce your company, and you will be followed by Sharif Harris in that order until Ms. Theron has spoken. Then I will come back. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Nicolas Lecomte, 20 years in the renewables, 10 years in Africa, and I'm leading HDF activities in Southern and East Africa. This is an exciting day, a day of celebration. I will, you may see a visual of our development here. I will talk about the technology. I will talk about HDF. HDF is Hydrogen of France. We have brought to maturity a new type of power plant, which is called the Renew-Stable. It's a combination of renewables as primary sources of electricity and green hydrogen as a storage component to deliver power 24/7, day and night, all year round. When you look at that visual, and I choose the Namibian project because it's close by, it's being developed. We are well advanced in the development. It looks like a PV farm, but actually the service would be more comparable to a diesel generator, a gas power plant, or a coal power plant. And so HDF is developing and constructing that technology in 20+ countries, and now in South Africa, in Mpumalanga. Mpumalanga has been part of HDF vision before this tender, but this tender has been the opportunity for us to start materializing the vision. Today, and what is ahead of us is a phase of development of projects, but today we are achieving a key milestone in that development with the land agreements being signed with Eskom. So for those projects, we'll need just a bit of patience, but we'll go as fast as we can. At the same time, we'll contribute to solving the electricity crisis, contributing to the just energy transition, but also with these projects, and we are talking about 6 parcels for HDF, which is amounts around 30% of the allocation. We are looking at a massive cluster of green hydrogen projects, possibly the first one to be materialized in Africa and the largest. So we are ready. We are ready to move forward. It's happening in Mpumalanga. This is HDF, green hydrogen, just energy revolution. Thank you.
Hi. Hi, will you be putting up my presentation? Here we go. Hi, I'm Sharif Harris. I'm the head of development for Red Rocket, and we've are so proud to be part of this venture and the first of its kind in the country, possibly globally as well. And we'd like to congratulate the Eskom team on what they've achieved here today by being steadfast in what they've been trying to achieve and bringing to the country something completely different. Does it not work? There we go. So this is just a short presentation about who Red Rocket is and who Eskom will be partnering for the next 25 to 30 years as one of their potential partners. We started out as an Italian EPC contractor for solar PV plants in around 2010 and branched out into the South African renewable energy space in 2011 with the release of the first round of the REIPP procurement program that's run by the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy. And in 2020, we did a management buyout of the African...
Right, those are live visuals coming to you from Sunning Hill. Of course, that is an Eskom event where they're signing on new IPPs. This is, of course, for the Renewable Energy Independent Power Producer Procurement Program, still in bid window 5. They are expected to give us about 420 megawatts of wind power in South Africa in efforts to, of course, lead us to solutions when it comes to our energy crisis.